Right. You guys made my day this morning. Happy Friday, everybody. Big waves to you. Big waves to you. We'll have people tuning in going, what in the world are they talking about? So we are going to finish out today with I couldn't wait to get to this word this week to finish out, and we intentionally did it for Friday to go into the weekend. And the word for today is glimmer. Glimmer. Think about it, glimmer. And think about what you think about when you think about glimmer. If you look at the definition, it's shine faintly with a wavering light, a weak, unsteady light, a faint idea or suggestion of something, a small amount or sign of something. But what do we most often hear when we hear the word glimmer? Glimmer of hope. How many of you thought about that? Glimmer of hope. Well, I'll tell you what it makes me think about. It makes me think of the Bible. Luke 13, chapter 13, verse 18 and 19 says, Then Jesus asked, what is the kingdom of God like? What shall I compare it to? It is like a mustard seed, which a man took and planted in his garden. It grew and became a tree, and the birds perched in its branches. So during this passage, this example gave a glimmer of an insight of how something could be, a glimmer of hope, a glimmer of something bright for the future. As long as there is glimmer, just a tiny speck of glimmer, we can grow that into something amazing. And I thought about glimmer of hope. And here's where I went with this morning. We live in a tough world. It's been like that forever, and it's going to be like that. You know, we have opportunities to see things on social media, on news, in conversations with people that's talking about worldly events, challenges, disruptions. And I thought about me today, and I thought, man, Brent, when you're going into conversations with people in business, or you're going into conversations with people in your family, people that are your friends, are you being the glimmer of hope like is in the Bible right here in Luke chapter 13? Because we can always shed light on the downside of things. How many of you know someone that always takes it to a negative place? You could say, man, I just got a set of tires for my car. I'm so excited. It's driving so much better. And that person would say, oh, I bet them things cost you a shiny penny. Problem is tires don't last like they used to. Before you know it, you're feeling bad about your purchase. You went from feeling good about driving on a new set of tires to, just, man, we've all got people in our life, and hopefully it's not us, but it could be. I know I found myself at times being that person that instead of looking for the gratitude in things, instead of looking for the positive, instead of looking for the light, I look for the dark, because that's where my mind was at that particular point. I was just in a not a great headspace. And so one of the things that I'm so, so grateful for is you in this coach's corner. Not because it's me talking every day or it's someone else talking. It's because we come together and we shed light on something that typically drives my day into more of a positive direction. Would you agree with that? And so I'm going to read this and turn it over to Andrea. And then there was a glimmer of hope. Sometimes a glimmer of light in the darkness is all you need to find a match. I hope that I go throughout the days and weeks. And I know this right here will make me think more about being that person that is growing. Um, and so one of the things Andrea is going to touch on is how to be a glimmer of hope. Like what's some things that we can kind of direct our path on, even in hard times, to be a glimmer of hope. So Andrea, I'm going to turn it to you.
Well, thank you, Coach. And that was a great message. And you're right, this community truly is a group of hope, much bigger than a glimmer. So grateful for it. And the quote that I have is very similar to yours, in that when darkness overcomes, remember it's that little glimmer of light that can make that darkness flee. And I think that's so true. Like I just got in the chat, I got a little glimmer, right? A little bit of hope. So thank you for that, Tracy. We all have the ability to bring a little bit of light, a little bit of joy to other people's day if we so choose. But what happens when we lose our glimmer, right? You know, we get sucked into some negativity and we lose that spark in us, like we've lost the glimmer. So that's what I'm going to talk about. What can we do to get that hope, how to grow that hope even in hard times? So first of all, pause and reflect. So it can be so easy to lose perspective. I actually just had this happen this morning. So just a little backstory. I have what I call COVID nose. So I had COVID last August, and the world smells weird. Like sometimes it's more normal, sometimes it's horrible, sometimes it's just weird, right? And I was eating something that I wanted to eat and it tasted awful. It smelled horrible. And I'm like, oh, everything's horrible, blah, 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 right? I completely lost perspective because right next to it on the plate was something that tasted delicious. And I lost my focus. I lost perspective. So when we have those moments where it seems like everything is awful, try to pause and realize that there are other positive things. So it's not all horrible. Some things do still smell good and some things still do taste good. So second, remember what you're thankful for. And I think this is so powerful, just to go through your day and pick those few things that we do have that we can be grateful for. So when you appreciate, you take that time to appreciate, you know, the feel of the sheets in the morning, right? When you first wake up, or that you got to mark a couple items off your to-do list, whatever it is, whatever you're grateful for. It could be small things and it could be big things. When you take those moments, you automatically have more hope. That glimmer gets a little bit brighter. 3, limit your bad news intake. And I think, well, I could be wrong, but I think we probably would all agree that our news, what we call news these days, is absolutely designed to steal our hope. It's designed to create fear. It's designed to create want. Like, I need to make some kind of change. I need to do, something. I've got to protect myself. I've got to, hunker down. Like, it creates this reaction. I think it's intentional. So my suggestion is turn it off. Just turn it off. If you must know what they're sharing about what's going on in the world, I'm not going to say what's going on in the world, but what's being shared about the world, read the headlines, right? Just skim the headlines, but turn off the television, turn off Fox, turn off CNN, stop letting it pound into you, because that's just squashing that hope as hard as it possibly can. 4, focus on something you can look forward to. So what can we look forward to? And again, I don't care if it's something so small. Like, I know when I drink my first quart of water, I get a cup of coffee, and I am excited for that cup of coffee. I'm looking forward to it. It could be that. It could be a phone call that you're supposed to have later that day. It could be a trip possibly in the future, but focus on something that you can look forward to. And then last, talk to hopeful people. And I really think that's part of the power of this community, is that we have immersed ourselves with people that are positive and they're hopeful and they're looking forward to a better tomorrow. And, find those people, those people that just by who they are, they're just shiny. Like I really, when I'm on here, I think of Nancy. Like Nancy is the most active listener in the entire world. She's so enthusiastic. Like you feel like she's right here, right? And that, a shiny, positive person. So thank you for that, Nancy. And if you find those people, one, don't let them go, right? Immerse yourself with them as much as you can and listen to them, talk to them, be around them as much as you can. And then kind of going back a little bit to what Coach said, try not to be the opposite. So when somebody comes to you and they're shiny and they're wonderful and they're bringing you those glimmers, do your best not to step on them and just enjoy their glimmer. So thank you for that. Thank you, Coach. Love you guys.
Andrea, thank you so much for the message. And guys, you are a glimmer in our life each and every day. And I got to say this as we end, you just never know. There was someone on here, and you know who you are. Yesterday I had a personally tough day, long day, tough day. And I got a message from someone on here, and it was a gratitude message. It was an audio, and it could not have been more timely in my life yesterday. And so I really thought about that this morning when I was looking over Glimmer, and I went, it might not only take 1 minute to leave an audio or to call or something that sets that person that you do it to, sets their direction in a whole different light. And so thank you for the person that sent me that. And guys, we love you. We appreciate you. And let's go rock this Friday and have a great weekend. See you. Happy Friday.
Love you guys.
Thank you so much.
Friday.
Friday. Have a great one. Thank you.